This is Shannon Miller. I'm with the Miller Elder Law Firm, and I need to talk to you about your Medicare 100 days. And this is something that has been coming across my desk again and again, talking to clients who have had a loved one who has an event that takes them to the hospital for some extended time period. There used to be a 72-hour requirement for admission at the hospital to qualify you for up to 100 days in a skilled nursing rehabilitation bed. So this is often the case where we have a loved one who's broken a bone, broken a hip, whatever has happened, and then they, kind of get better, they get released from the hospital, and they move into a long-term care. It's not a long-term care. It's a skilled nursing rehabilitation bed. And your first 20 days are 100% covered by Medicare. And then depending on your supplemental insurance, you may have coverage for up to 100 days, either at 60% or 80%, or sometimes even 100%, depending on the quality of your supplemental insurance. So I often get people on the phone who are telling me that the rehabilitation facility is telling them that their discharge date is at day 28 or day 24. And they're being told that because their parent or family member is not improving from the rehabilitative therapy, that they are being told that it is time for them to go. So I want to be clear on what the legal standard is for discharge from a rehabilitation bed. So that means that they would discharge you before you have been in that bed for your full 100 days. The standard under a case that actually came out of the federal courts in, I believe it was 2013, is, does the therapy basically, does it create a situation where our loved one is being harmed from the treatment? Meaning, not the standard is not, are they improving from the treatment, but rather, is the treatment not causing them, it's actually, is the treatment causing them to decline? So, you're past the 100% coverage days. You're between 20 day and 100 days in the rehabilitation bed. Your loved one may be doing okay. They may not be improving. As long as the treatment is not making them worse, they qualify for their 100-day stay. Now, why would facilities be trying to get our loved ones out early? Aren't they being paid by Medicare? Well, the reimbursement rates from Medicare will continue to go down to the facility. So they're incentivized to get our loved one out before their 100 days has run, because the reimbursement rates from Medicare get lower and lower and lower the longer the loved one stays in the bed. If they can get the loved one out who's getting a lower reimbursement rate, they open up that bed for someone who's coming in who gets a whole bunch higher reimbursement rate from Medicare. So you're entitled to 100 days. And I'll tell you, this is kind of a practice tip. We appeal those regularly. We tell our client, appeal it. It can be done by phone. It's usually a third party. I think it's Kepro is the one that's doing those third party reviews. We have yet to have an appeal denied. We've had a second party appeal where the first one didn't get approved, and then it went to the next level. Once again, we have never had to go to a fair hearing on a Medicare review related to a discharge between, day 0 and 100 days, usually because our clients they're not getting worse from the rehabilitation. They just may not be improving, but they're not getting worse. Sometimes they're just kind of hanging out here. They're not getting worse. They maybe aren't improving. This is okay. You get your 100 days if you're doing this. Now, one little caveat is that the client needs to be compliant with the therapy. So they can't be refusing treatment or care. But other than that, they should get their 100 days, even though reimbursement rates may be lower. And this is kind of something that appears to become more and more prevalent in our communities lately. So I'd encourage you, appeal. I'm Shannon Miller. You can always call our office. We do have it's a $750 consultation fee, usually for Medicaid. But a lot of times I spend the first, 10 minutes talking about this issue related to our Medicare 100 days and encourage people appeal that discharge. The other thing about the discharge is it needs to come to you in writing. Demand that. Demand that the discharge be in writing, because you'll have in writing exactly what it is that they claim is happening with that standard. So if they're saying no longer improving on your discharge notice, that's problematic when it goes up for appeal. That is not the legal standard. Okay, again, I'm Shannon Miller. I hope we have helped in some small way. And if you need more help, please don't be afraid to contact our office.